Hello, everybody, and welcome to another mini episode with me, DJ Batman. Hope everyone's been having a wonderful time since my last episode. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about companies like Uber Eats, DoorDash, and all the like. Here's the thing. People need to stop ordering from these companies altogether. Stop having a third party deliver food from a restaurant. And I'll explain why. Alright. So, if you take into account that these companies are basically hiring people to go to restaurants and then deliver your food, which then by turn, a lot of these drivers are now forcing people to give a certain tip or they won't deliver food. I mean, there's hundreds of videos on the internet that basically show people refusing to take an order because it's not a high enough amount, because these people are demanding a tip. And I already have my issues with tipping. I don't do tipping. It should not be forced upon you. You should not be forced to have to tip. To be honest, tipping was actually a horrible thing to do back in the day. But after the Great Depression, it changed. And corporations realize they can make more money off their employees if they make them take tip, because then they don't have to give them a proper wage per hour. So in other words, by continuing to tip, you actually harm the employees. But that's a whole nother subject. But anyways, my main point is basically with these corporations. So you have these employees which aren't like a regular employee because, it's just anybody can do it as long as you have a car or, some kind of wheeled vehicle to get you around. But anyways, the point of the matter is they are actually hurting these small businesses. Because, for instance, like a local restaurant in your town that's not a large, business that's everywhere, they end up having to pay around 35% of every order goes to the Uber Eats or DoorDash or any of these other companies. And on top of that, a lot of these companies will force the small businesses to change their prices and make them more expensive so that they can make more money in turn through their percentage. And then they will then tack on the tax and fees on the consumer, which they themselves keep. So in other words, they're actually double dipping. They're taking a huge portion of the company's profits, but they're also getting more money on the side by charging all these extra things that doesn't go to the restaurant. And then, of course, you got these drivers that are, self-entitled and think that, they deserve a certain amount of money to deliver your food. And not just that, but if you don't order a high enough amount, a lot of these people will be like, nope, not going to do it. Nope, not going to do it. They're just like, I've watched videos where people have been like, oh, $10, that's not good enough, But then you get people like there was an incident with Snoop Dogg where he ordered a bunch of food through DoorDash. We're talking like hundreds of dollars worth of food. And the delivery driver took it and the tip. Because a lot of these drivers will demand the tip before they deliver your food. And this is the problem I have with tipping overall, is that it puts this self-entitlement that they deserve this money just because they did a job. And that's not how any of this works. Because I'm going to tell anybody that's listening that does these jobs, your job is very easy. A child can do it. You literally are just grabbing food from one place and dropping it off at another. Literally no skill goes into that. A farmer, a truck driver works way harder than you will ever be or you'll ever do in your entire career of delivering food. And they don't get tipped. They barely make enough to go by each year. If you look at the average salary in the United States for a farmer, it's around $26,000 a year. That is extremely low for people that are literally working pretty much nonstop every single day, almost all year round, so that we can have the luxury of going to a grocery store, picking up a bunch of food, and be able to eat. And these small businesses are being hurt because, people want the ability to get their food easier, but not taking into account the person making the food isn't getting their money. They're losing 35%. And when you become a large business that is working with so many other businesses, your rates need to start coming down. Because them staying at 35% this whole time, they're making a huge profit. And they're hurting these small businesses. And so are everybody that's ordering from these services. You're hurting these small businesses. People always complain, that these large corporations are destroying small businesses. No. Large corporations aren't destroying small businesses. You are. You are the problem. You go in and just like everybody else, and I have my own issues. I'm not perfect. But we have to look at what we do and how it affects others. When we support a corporation, we can't blame the corporation. You have to blame yourself. It's just like what George Carlin said when it came to politicians. Don't blame the politicians. Blame yourself. You voted for these people. You voted them in. You are responsible. It's just like, how people will always say, well, if you don't vote, you have no right to complain. And just like I agree with George Carlin with it, no, that's backwards. By somebody not voting, they're just like, I don't trust any of these people. So people will then say, well, then just, fill in whatever name you want. It's like, that's pointless. Then you're wasting the person's time who's counting that. Because then they got to look at this going, oh, none of these people actually exist. People vote with their dollar when it comes to how things run in this country for the most part. Your vote only matters to a degree. What you buy, what you consume, influences our economy, influences what these corporations are going to do and what they're going to push on you. And how much they're going to take from these small businesses until these small businesses don't exist anymore. And these small businesses have already suffered enough through this pandemic, which they've been hurt severely. So I ask everybody, please stop using these services. They are hurting the small businesses that you care about. And if you want these small businesses to grow, either have them deliver it with their own cars or people they hire to deliver, or go directly to them. Because in the end, it may be convenient for you to be sitting at home or work or whatever and have this food delivered to you. But at the end of the day, you're hurting these small businesses you care about. And there's enough people that do these delivery services that are so entitled and think they deserve all this extra money just for delivering something. It's not my responsibility or anybody else's responsibility to pay you. If somebody feels like they want to give you something, that's fine. For me, I give some of my 3D print stuff away to people. Because to be honest, I would rather give away something neat and cool than some cash. I mean, yes, cash helps people. But here's the thing. If people are struggling with cash, you have to determine, what's best for you. Is your job paying you enough? Are you spending way more money than you should on things you shouldn't? So, all I'm saying is, these services are hurting people. They're not really convenient. I mean, they're convenient for the person ordering it, but a lot of the times we're wasting stuff. I saw a video where it was showing the inside of McDonald's, where it was just almost covered with bags with food in it because nobody was delivering them because they weren't giving enough of a tip. So this food was just going to waste. So not only are a lot of these businesses, I know McDonald's is, more of a large corporation, but only 10% of all McDonald's are actually owned by the corporation. So these McDonald's are actually basically run by either a person who owns multiple or just owns the one. So it just all depends on where it's at. But we need to take in consideration these small businesses that we care about at the end of the day and realize what we're spending our money on and how we're doing it. It's the same thing with movies. When you spend money at a movie, you're telling them you liked it. So if you go to watch a movie just because you want to see how bad it is, you're still telling that corporation to keep making more because you think it's good. So you got to remember, people, the reason why things are so bad in our world is because we make our decisions every day. Everything you do is a decision. And these corporations, these businesses are tracking everything you do, everything you buy, everything you search. But, yeah. I don't hate the people who do the job of delivering food. I just don't like the ones that try to make it seem like they're these amazing people when it's literally one of the most easiest jobs on the planet. Takes literally no skill to do. So, but anyways, thank you for listening. Again, if you really would like to help me out, liking and commenting is really the best to help me out, because by commenting, and let me know what you think of these episodes, it really helps me improve what I do and maybe get things going a little bit better to make it more enjoyable. So, or if you like what I currently do, letting me know really helps. So, also liking helps spread the information so that more people can hear it. And other than that, if you like to support me, I have my links in the description for my Etsy and my Teespring. Got lots of awesome stuff on there I always put. But other than that, like every episode, I leave it with a song. So we're going to go ahead and end this episode with a song called Drop Dead by Van Syke. I will see everybody next time. DJ Batman, out.